Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Today is a new day, new day, new day. And I can see a new way, new way, new way. It's gonna be good, gonna be good, gonna be good. 'Cause everything is new today. Today's made softly, softly, softly. And I can sing my way, my way, my way. It's gonna be good, gonna be good, gonna be good. 'Cause everything is new today.
So good morning. My name is Tina, and I'm delighted to welcome you here this morning. And I tell you what, I was standing at the back door, and I can see all your shining eyes from up here. So make sure before you leave, you see as many shining eyes as you can, okay? Today is just a beautiful day. So we welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living in the Heart of Las Cruces, where our vision is a world in loving partnership for the good of all. And that's our experience when we come in on Sundays. So I'd like to welcome anyone here for the first time and to let you know that we have packets of information on the back table. You can stand if you want, or you can remain anonymous and just pick up the packets of information. It's up to you. So we're delighted that you're here, and we're delighted that everybody's here. And we want to remind you that our meditation mavericks are still meeting via Zoom on Wednesday evenings at 6 for a half hour, and it's led by various members of the group. So call the office or talk to Teresa Valenzuela. Teresa? There she is in the back of the room with the pink mask. And she'll make sure you get a Zoom invite. It's a wonderful chance in the middle of the week to recenter yourself and to see the good in everything. Another opportunity for meditation, I want to remind you, is Sunday mornings from 10:15 to 10:35. There's a meditation where we gather in this room, and the practitioner who's on duty leads a meditation, and I tell you what, after the meditation, you can really feel the positive energy and the love in the room when you come in for the service, and it's great for you individually. It's a terrific time. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome the Most Reverend Bonnie Smith, as she's going to welcome a new member.
Yeah. Thank you, Tina. Okay, well, this is an exciting day. I said it was an exciting day when we welcomed some new practitioners into the fold, so to speak. Today, we're going to welcome our first new member since we closed with COVID back in March of 2020. Yay. So what does it mean to be a member here at the center? And I'm going to encourage all of you who are members to think about this and recommit, because we've been gone from each other for a while. So just think about this commitment. It is a commitment to spiritual growth in an atmosphere of freedom to grow spiritually at your own pace and to evolve your own working philosophy of ideas and beliefs. It is a commitment to building a life of joy, ease, and love in an environment where we recognize and embrace the importance of spiritual community in supporting and empowering our personal journey. What naturally flows is the growth of our center. It is an affirmation of alignment with the philosophy and teachings of Science of Mind. It is an open statement in one's belief that their spiritual center is of great value personally. It is having a sense of ownership of our center and expressing that ownership through the sharing of time, talent, and treasure. So at this time, I would like to invite our board president, Bob Greer, to come up on the platform with me. And this man has been working hard as our president. I have to tell you, there's a lot of behind the scenes going on here. And I would like our new member to come forward. Amy Rohr, please come up. Yay. Just hold on a second here. Come on up. Yeah. So this is both a joyous occasion and a contemplative one. By choosing to become a member of this center, you are making a commitment to grow spiritually and to focus this growth in fulfilling your dreams. For this is a place that believes that the spiritual power we seek already lives within us, eager to be discovered and expressed. Do you declare your commitment to spiritually growing and expressing this growth and fulfilling your dreams? You have responded to the call of Spirit, whose desire it is to express its greatness and magnificence through you and to grow and expand your spiritual community. You are living proof that when Spirit has a desire, its creation automatically responds. You are the living, breathing demonstration of God in action at the Center for Spiritual Living and in Las Cruces, and I'm tearing up because this woman has been my support since my son died. She has been there for me. She came forward, and so she has stepped up already in ways that are just unbelievable. Thank you. In the words of Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, the essence of our teaching is, all is in God, and God is all there is. As you believe, so it is done to you. Our duty in life is to love and live fully. And from you, when you change your thinking changes your life. By becoming a member, you are committing yourself to the universal truth teaching, this pathway that Ernest Holmes chose to name religious science or science of mind, a teaching that is now known through its centers for spiritual living. Do you declare your commitment to the study and application of this universal truth teaching as you come to understand it? To become a member, or by becoming a member, you are helping to make a difference in the world, and you are joining with like-minded people all over the world who share a common value. You are joining people of all faiths that fully embody this universal truth shared across all religions, ancient and new. The Center for Spiritual Living here in Las Cruces is a place where people grow, and we do that by teaching and practicing the universal truth principles captured in the Science of Mind, and we live our vision, a world in loving partnership for the good of all. Do you support this vision? Our desire is to live life fully and continuously and consciously through inspiration, education, spiritual community, and service. We do this through 5 main spiritual practices: receptive prayer or meditation, affirmative prayer or spiritual mind treatment, spiritual study, service, and conscious giving. Do you support and hold in your heart the desire to live life fully in this way? We are a spirit-centered community of light, love, and laughter that honors and celebrates the many paths to God. We celebrate the diversity of all people, all religions, and all walks of life. Do you support and celebrate life in this way? So please sign our membership book. And once you have signed, our board president is giving you a rose For you, it symbolizes your inherent beauty and divinity. And here's your new name tag as well. Yay. And so now to all of you. Well, first of all, you now have the rights and responsibilities of a voting member of this spiritual community. We encourage you to attend our business meetings to cast your vote, our visioning sessions to contribute to the overall vision and direction of this center. And so now, to all of you as the community, please rise as you are able. Do you agree to be this new member's spiritual family, to welcome her and support her on this journey to which she has just committed? In recognition of this commitment that you have made to your spiritual growth and to the growth of our center, it is our joy to welcome you into our spiritual community. And so please give her a welcoming round of applause. Thank you so much. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Thank you. Normally we would hug and greet, but we're not doing that at this point. So give her some virtual love as she gets down off the stage. Lots of hugs. Thank you. There's a song. Your turn.
Well, I gotta take this thing off now. Good morning. I'm your practitioner in service. My name's Doug Bailey. We've been through this particular process, and you learn that we are a organization that believes in spiritual mind treatment and affirmative prayer, and we are a very lucky organization. We have 4 wonderful organizations within the community that are New Thought, and we have a very powerful group that meets every Tuesday afternoon and does affirmative prayer on behalf of whatever the prayer requests that people have. So I would encourage you on the back of each chair here is a prayer request, and if you guys have anything that is bothering you, we would love to support you as you support yourself in working through whatever your situation is. If you could fill the prayer request out and put it in the God can in the back, it will be dealt with on Tuesdays by a very powerful group. That said, there is a whole bunch of practitioners here today, and they will be around the back of the sanctuary today. And if anybody has anything that's pressing that they would like to have dealt with by one of the practitioners, we can do a little mini session for you. That said, it is now time for song, silence, and prayer.
In this moment, I am joy. Joy is this moment. Joy, joy, joy. This moment is what I am. In this moment, I am one. One is this moment. One, one, one. This moment is what I am. In this moment, I am still, still is this moment, still, still, still. this moment is what I am.
So in the peace of this moment, let us bring into our mind's eye the magnificence that surrounds us, that magnificent expression of the divine that can see, or that shows itself in the mountains, in the beautiful trees in our valley, in the wonderful people and animals. And let us allow ourselves in this moment to recognize the perfection that resides at the core of all that is. Let us allow ourselves to recognize that we truly are conduits through which the divine expresses. Allow yourself in this moment just to embrace this truth as we step into each moment with purpose and focus. Allow ourselves to be open to a powerful vision for our life. And recognize that guidance is always available from Divine Mind, and the creative power of Spirit is present in each moment to support us. Let us absolutely know as we express our divine nature, we are stepping into unlimited potential. And so it is. My reading this morning is out of Science of Mind, the March magazine, or the Science of Mind magazine. Another thing we can do when we commune with the Spirit is ask about the vision. We might ask, for example, Spirit, what is the highest vision for my life today? What is the highest vision for this situation? What is the highest vision for this relationship? Once the vision is made clear, keep it clear. Make sure you keep your eyes singularly focused on the vision. When we keep the vision at the forefront of our mind, the activities in our day life will assist you in bringing the vision into fruition. Your vision gives you purpose. Your purpose gives you direction. This is the meaning of Proverb 29:18, which states, where there is no vision, people perish. I know, I can almost hear some of you saying, but what if my vision is different from another person's? Remember, people are basically the same. We all have pretty much the same life, or the same things in life: housing, clothing, happiness, prosperity, love. The vision informs us of how things can be accomplished on an individual as well as a collective basis. Not for a place of separation, but from a place of unity and inclusion. We have access to many books to help us find and retain our vision. Michael Beckwith's Life Vision Process is available online, or you can ask your minister or practitioner to work with you. Whichever way you choose, catch the vision and keep the vision. So what has to change? The focus of your attention, because your attention is exclusive. It wipes out the coordinates which have given you the present factors of your formation, time and space. This is why attention energize equals unlimited possibilities. And then we have a wonderful quote from Ernest Holmes. Ignorance stays with us until the day of enlightenment. Until our vision towards the Spirit broadens and casts out the image of a no longer useful littleness. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Study religious science, love my classes. Got a crazy teacher who wears dark glasses. Things are going great,
and they're only getting better.
I'm doing alright, getting good grades. My future's so bright. Gotta wear shades. Gotta wear shades. I got a job waiting for my graduation. 50,000 years bring a lot of tears. Things are going great, and they're only getting better. I'm doing alright, getting good grades. My future's so bright. I gotta wear shades.
I gotta wear shades.
Heavenly blessed, worldly wise. I'm a spiritual seeker with X-ray eyes. Things are going great, and they're only getting better. I'm doing alright, getting good grades. My future's so bright. I gotta wear shades. I gotta wear shades. I gotta wear shades. I gotta wear shades.
I can't believe that none of you were up dancing to that one. Thank you. That was perfect. Perfect, perfect. Well, good morning. I'm Reverend Bonnie, the community spiritual leader here at the center. And to pay homage to Reverend Sam, who used to do a children's section to every service, I'm reading to you this morning from What Do You Do with an Idea? Thank you, Lisa, for showing me this book. There's beautiful pictures, so I'm going to try and go through it a little faster than I would if I had kids in front of me. But one day, I had an idea. Where did it come from? Why is it here? I wondered, what do you do with an idea? At first, I didn't think much of it. It seemed kind of strange and fragile. I don't know what to do with it, so I just walked away from it. I acted like it didn't belong to me. But it followed me. I worried what others would think. What would people say about my idea? I kept it to myself. I hid it away, and I didn't talk about it. I tried to act like everything was the same as it was before that idea showed up. But there was something magical about my idea. I had to admit, I felt better and happier when it was around. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like an egg with a crown on it. It wanted food. It wanted to play. Actually, it wanted a lot of attention. It grew bigger, and we became friends. I showed it to other people, even though I was afraid of what they would say. I was afraid that if people saw it, they would laugh at it. I was afraid they would think it was silly, and many of them did. They said it was no good. They said it was too weird. They said it was a waste of time and that it would never come to anything. And at first, I believed them. I actually thought about giving up on my idea. I almost listened to them. But then I realized, what do they really know? This is my idea, I thought. No one knows it like I do, and it's okay if it's different and weird and maybe a little crazy. I decided to protect it, to care for it. I fed it good food. I worked with it. I played with it. But most of all, I gave it my attention. My idea grew, and so did my love for it. I built it a new house, one with an open roof, where it could look at the stars, a place where it could be safe to dream. I liked being with my idea. It made me feel more alive. If I could do anything, or like I could do anything, it encouraged me to think big and then to think bigger. It shared its secrets with me. It showed me how to walk on my hands because it said, it's good to have the ability to see things differently. I couldn't imagine my life without it. And then, one day, something amazing happened. My idea changed right before my eyes. It spread its wings, it took flight, and it burst into the sky. I don't know how to describe it, but it went from being here to being everywhere. It wasn't just a part of me anymore. It was now part of everything. And then I realized what you do with an idea. You change the world. Thank you again, Lisa. Isn't that beautiful? So in the Revealing Wholeness class that we're working on right now, I realized and was reminded of an idea that I had when I was a kid. I was in high school. And I wanted to be the founder of and create a camp, and I wanted to call it Camp Ho. I didn't know how that name was going to sound until I left home, and people told me what ho could mean. My idea for Camp Ho was heaven on earth. Really, this is true. I'm not making this up. So I realized that my vision of Camp Ho was probably better named something else, that might not be the best name for my vision. But the idea of this vision was a retreat center or a camp place where people would come and explore spirituality, where they would do inner healing and growth work, and where a core community of people could live together peacefully and in harmony. So that vision continued to be part of what pulled me forward in life when I moved here to New Mexico to 85 acres outside of Albuquerque. We called the place Our Land, and we had that same vision of a retreat center and a place that people could come and do spiritual growth. And then when I left that land, I still had within me this vision, this idea of a spiritual community that would explore spirituality together, do inner healing work, and have a place where people would come together in peace and harmony. And then I found the Albuquerque Center for Spiritual Living. And there they mentioned their global vision, which is summed up with a world that works for everyone. And so my idea of camp expanded to the whole world, and the retreat center became the center, this place where we come together for spiritual growth, where we explore, and where we work together here to create this community as peacefully and harmoniously as we possibly can. This is the vision that has been pulling me forward and has been evolving throughout much of my life. Ernest Holmes says in the Science of Mind text, evolution is the passing of thought into manifestation. To put it another way, all is infinite being and all is eternal becoming. Infinite being is infinite knowingness. As a result of this infinite knowingness, there is an infinite becoming or creation. The infinite knowingness produces what is called involution through the self-contemplation of spirit. As a result of this contemplation, the word in the Bible, creation, is made manifest. This is evolution. Evolution is the process, the way, the time, the experience that transpires as thought or intelligence or idea or contemplation passes from abstract being into concrete expression. So I love that idea that what we have in our thoughts and our visions is what pulls us forward and what eventually manifests in our life, even though sometimes the way it outpictures is different than the original picture we had in our mind. That underlying essence of that vision still is pulling, at least is still pulling me forward throughout life. And I think a good example of this happened last Sunday when that storm blew through. There I was at home alone with a dog that hates thunder, and all of a sudden I'm getting texts, "Are you okay? How's everything going over there? We've got electricity out here at the center, but all's good." You know, the windows were moving in and out. Bob was here when that was going on. But I was getting check-ins, and I was checking in with other people. And there I was, alone in my house, feeling so connected to this community. And instead of feeling fear, I started to feel joy. What an amazing community we are. And how wonderful it is that we have our connections and we have our ways of staying connected. So the vision of a spiritual community and the vision of a world that works for everyone is a vision that has pulled me forward for many, many, many years. But this year, something happened to my vision. I had to expand my vision to include what I will call what is. I picture it this way. I was looking at my vision here, and I'd been focused on this. And I had been writing my treatments. I had been working on what we call the mental equivalent. I had been seeing it. I was writing it in my journal. I was doing all the right things to manifest this. And all of a sudden, what is stepped in. And I had been taught, I had learned to ignore what is, the stuff I didn't want to see, in order to keep my eye on the vision. And yet what I've learned this year is that if you ignore what is, it doesn't go away. And if you resist what is, that doesn't make it go away either. So my vision needed to expand from here to here to include what is. I needed to be able to, instead of resist it, allow it in and enfold it in some way in my life. So in order to do this, I felt like I was needing to learn how to do the two-step with both vision and what is. Vision is what we're creating. It's what we see, what we want more of, what the potential is that we can have in our life. And I call that the reality in the spiritual realm. And what is what's now, right now, in the present moment, what is happening right where you are sitting in this moment. It's what's going on in the world around us. It's what's showing up. It's what I would call reality in the human experience. And I've come to realize that ignoring and resisting that what is becomes a really jealous dance partner and can get in the way of dancing with vision. And so I needed to figure out a way to expand to dance with both. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I've been doing grief work with a practitioner out of Tucson. And one of the things in this grief recovery work that we do is to write a timeline of first of all of our loss experiences in life, and then to pick one relationship and do a timeline for that entire relationship. So of course I did my son from birth to when he passed. And what we're supposed to do on that timeline is anything above the line are the things that we loved, that we would like to have had more of, the things that we might call positive experiences. And then below the line are the events or things that happened that we wish could have been different, that we wish might have had a different outcome. And then you go back through that timeline, and for all of those things below the line, you write your apologies or you give your forgivenesses. It's a lot of work. And then throughout the whole thing, you look for significant emotional statements that needed to be said. Like, I was so proud of you when you graduated from law school. You know, if I hadn't said it, that would be something I wish I had said. And so you come up with those statements. The idea is that in order to move forward, we're not forgetting, but we're moving forward. In order to move forward in grief, we need to complete the conversations that didn't take place, in whether it was a relationship or someone who was alive and has passed. And the reason that they have us do the above and below is because after someone passes, we tend to either demonize them, they did everything wrong, or we make them a hero and we don't see any of the other stuff that was taking place in the relationship. So the idea is to have enough lines above and below and to really look at the full picture. So in doing this, I began to realize another vision that I had had throughout almost my entire life, as long as I could remember. And that vision was to be a mother. And my vision wasn't just to be a mother, but to be the perfect mother. That was my vision. And I wanted to be the perfect mother in the perfect family. And so what I realized as I did this timeline is that I didn't pay enough attention, I feel, to the what is that showed up throughout that experience. I didn't pay enough attention when the issues came up, or the hurts, or the traumatic events that happened in my son's life. And so I realized from looking at that it's time for me to learn how to dance with both the vision and the what is. What's coming up? Because I just chose to ignore a lot of those things. I wanted us to look happy all the time and move forward. So now the lesson for me is to learn how to let vision pull me forward, to keep my eye on that vision, while at the same time being mindful in the moment of what is present, and what is the presence bringing present in my life at this very moment. And I see this as a challenge, not only in my personal life, but I see it in regard to our country and what's going on in the world today. I think when we think about a world that works for everyone, it's tempting sometimes to focus on that and not pay attention to what is the experience of some people in this world that isn't as positive as that statement is. What isn't working for them, and what hasn't worked historically. We want to manifest the land of the free without first looking at the what is of the experiences of people who haven't been free on this land. And when we do focus on that, when we look at the what is in combination with the vision and allow ourselves to dance with both, then we can complete the unfinished conversations. We can make the apologies. We can give the forgivenesses, and we can make those significant emotional statements that needed to be said throughout history. I think that this is true, like I said, for my individual life, and it's true as a community, as a country, as part of what we are as a society. Holmes talked about love and law, the combination of these two things working in our lives. There is vision and what is. And I've also had a vision throughout my life of being the healthiest expression of God that I possibly could be in the world. And most of the time, I thought the best way to do that was to ignore the pain, ignore anything that was uncomfortable, any inner insecurities, and just keep my focus on being the best expression of God I could. Giving God a good time has been my goal through me. But love, as I've learned about love in a little different way this year, love has required that I expand that vision to include the truth of what is, what's really going on inside, and make room for that. When we vision, we are considering what it is we want to create. We're putting that picture in our mind's eye, or as we've been talking about, that mental equivalent that we have in our mind. But in our mental equivalence class, this tiny little book is what we've been studying, called Mental Equivalence by Emmett Fox. And in here he says, the law of polarity is, of course, a cosmic law. Everything is produced by two other things. Anything that is ever produced anywhere in the universe is produced by two other things. That is the law of polarity. In the organic world, we see it as parenthood. In the inorganic world, the world of physics and chemistry, we see it as protons and electrons. That is how the material universe is built. It always takes two things to produce a third thing. And that is the real ultimate meaning behind the Trinity. Further on, he says, in the building of thought, two poles are clarity of thought and warmth of feeling, knowledge and feeling. So he says that in order for us to create, we need to have both clarity of thought and feeling, warmth of feeling. And he sometimes referred to this as interest. And that which we're interested in, we love, we have that feeling for. That's what's drawing us to that vision when we have both things. This was the first time I'd really thought about, we can't create with just one thing. Think about anything you bake or make or paint. You have the combination of two things to create that third, to make something new and different. And so in what he's teaching, we have the vision and we have our interest, that feeling, the love of what it is that we are wanting to bring about. And I think that the interest starts with looking at what is and then allowing that to expand out to that greater vision. Lisa and I also talked about this because she'd shared that book, and one of the things that she shared with me is she sees this idea of the dance being between will and surrender. What we will, what we want, and then surrendering to letting it unfold, letting whatever is be a part of our life. And that dance is between what we will and what we are surrendering to. So as we talk about visioning and creating, we also talk about divine guidance and God's will. And there again, I think, is that balance of these two things, surrendering to what is. And we're back to what I often call both and. It's both. The vision we create, and we're surrendering to God's will and what is moving in and through our lives. Ernest Holmes has an article in the July 2021 Science of Mind magazine that was not previously ever published. It's called See Yourself as You Want to Be. And in here he says, in visualizing, put the past entirely behind you. Do not think of the future, but make your thought perceive the ever-present reality. Spirit knows no past and no future. The law knows only to do. See yourself as you would like to be, but think of no person or persons in connection with your mental picture. Think of yourself as you would like to be, and calmly state that you are now in that position that you care to be in, that you are now doing the things you would like to be doing, that you now possess the things you would like to possess. Look at your picture as you would view a landscape, mentally dwelling on that picture. Then leave the entire picture for the law to work out for you, returning to your everyday affairs with perfect confidence that something is taking place in the invisible side of your life and that you will experience in outward form all of your inner aspirations. So again, I think he's sharing and showing that balance, looking at reality, having the vision of what we want to be, which takes me back to my original idea. What I wanted to be was a person on a spiritual path in a community of other spiritual seekers. That's what I wanted to be. That is what has carried through every outpicturing of how my original vision has evolved throughout life. So how I wanted to be has been the consistent aspect. So as I thought about my idea of what I had originally wanted as a kid, and I did work at a summer camp, and that's part of what was the reality of that vision, I thought about the what is of today, and I put all of this into perspective with this past year, with its losses, its disappointments, and its grief that not just I experienced, but many people in our community and beyond. And I had another vision. So most of you know that I love to dance. And some of my most cherished memories as a kid was watching my parents dance. They were part of a professional folk dance group. And I loved watching them move together around the dance floor. And I loved dancing with my father. He was an amazing lead, and he could just twirl me around. And as I got older and big enough to balance with him, we were able to do a dance called the hambo. The hambo is a Swedish folk dance, and both people, the person leading and the person following, have different foot movements, but together you're balanced and you twirl around the dance floor, and it is the most amazing feeling. I loved being able to do the hambo with my dad. I actually went online. If you want to see a hambo, they've got them on YouTube. And it's so fun to watch. Watch their feet, because the follow is doing something different than the lead, but they're working together as one. And in my life, I don't think there's anything that my physical body has experienced, and I'm serious, that feels so wonderful as being danced around a dance floor. That is just an amazing feeling to me. And we use the term lead and follow, and yet when you see a good couple that dances, you don't see who's leading or who's following. They're moving in sync with each other around the dance floor. And the person who's the follow is not mush. They're not being passive or controlled. They're not being a doormat. There's a movement that both are doing around the dance floor. So the vision that I had was me dancing through life with God or my higher self as my dance partner, as the lead. I saw myself being twirled around the dance floor by that higher self. So when you are the follow, like I said, you can't be mush, or you're not going to look like you're in sync with each other. You need a strong frame. You need to stay balanced over your center. You need to be buoyant and flexible. You stay attuned to the slight indications of the lead. A little push on your hip, you're moving backwards, a little pull, you're coming this way, the arm lifts, you're going under. Little indications move you forward, which is way better than that cosmic 2x4 that some of us end up having to experience. And as we say, the follow, like Ginger Rogers, does everything the lead does, only backwards and in high heels. So imagine your life, and I don't care if you're the male or female, I'm talking lead and follow. Have you ever felt like you were moving backwards, you couldn't see where you were going, but you managed to stay on your feet, stay balanced, and let God or Spirit lead? That's the feeling that I was seeing in this vision of mine. The importance of staying balanced, of staying strong in our frame. So as I look back over this past year and envisioned that this whole year and life in general has been a dance with God, I asked myself, Am I going to be dragged across the dance floor, kicking and screaming and resisting every twist and turn? Or am I going to do my part? Am I going to stay on my feet? Am I going to keep my feet moving to the rhythm, staying balanced and buoyant and graceful, and trust and surrender to that lead? Am I going to create with Spirit a seamless dance where we move across the dance floor as one? Because we are one. So throughout life, I know that music changes. There's the two-step with the slow, quick, quick, slow, quick, quick. So sometimes things are slow and sometimes it's quick, quick. Sometimes it's a jitterbug, which is fast and exhilarating and exhausting. And sometimes it's a slow and beautiful waltz. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Looking in the eyes of God in everyone you see, waltzing with each individual through life. And then sometimes as you're dancing, someone comes up from behind and taps the lead on the shoulder and steps in. And so I saw that new dance partner as what is. What is cut in this year? Tapped my beautiful vision of life and this dance I was doing on the shoulder and stepped in. What is could be a death, a divorce, a change in a life partner, an unexpected job loss, a pandemic, a wild storm that blows through town. What is sometimes taps the lead on the shoulder for a while and steps in. And when that happens, it takes an adjustment. You might stumble around for a while, you might step on each other's feet for a while, and if you keep looking behind you at what was your lead, you're never going to get into the flow with the new partner of what is. Ernest Holmes also said, "We are to look for God in each other and love this God, forgetting all else." We look for God in each other. It's not necessary for one to make a doormat of him or herself and proving that God is love. What is still God. That was the part that I realized as well. When what is cuts in, that's still God expressing, no matter what it is that shows up. When I was in high school, I was part of a modern dance class, and I don't know if you've seen the Nutcracker where they do the lifts and they pick the woman up and they make it look so easy. But we were learning lifts, and it's not easy. It takes a lot of practice. And while I was learning these, I got dropped. And so my vision of dancing with God over this past year, I felt like in some ways I had gotten dropped. That's what it felt like. And then I started picturing in my vision, what happens when you get dropped in the middle of a dance on the dance floor? Well, first of all, the music keeps playing. The people keep dancing all around you, and usually your partner will reach down their hand, pull you back up on your feet, and you keep dancing. And so somehow I started to see in this vision of my life dance with God, of dancing with the divine, with the one, of moving as the one, that I was being pulled back up on my feet. I could feel this in my body because I know how it feels to dance. And as Emmett Fox said, you need clarity of thought. So all year I've been saying, I know that all is in divine order. I know, but it sure didn't feel good. But as I visioned dancing with God as my partner, I had the clarity of thought and the feeling. I could feel what that was like to have my partner grab me by the hand and pull me back up off the floor. All year I felt kind of draggy and heavy and weighed down by what is. And as I held this vision, I could see into my partner's eyes, and I felt the lightness of being on my feet. I felt that pull again of God and vision, pulling me into the arms and just dancing around the dance floor as we move in unison. I feel like we're floating. That's the feeling that I have when I envision this, moving as one. What is tapped on what was and stepped in, cut in. And it was awkward at first. It still sometimes feels quite awkward. But what is God too. And so as I dance between my vision and what is, and just allow myself to float around that dance floor, I surrender to what is. And I do my part to keep my strong frame, to stay balanced, on my feet, buoyant and graceful, as I allow God or love to sweep me off my feet once again. And so it is. So practitioners, please surround this room with the love that you hold for this community. Thank you. And we'll take a moment to go within. And if dancing isn't your vision, then whatever works. But if you love to dance, just picture spirit, your higher self, picking you up and twirling you around the dance floor. We are all one with the one. It moves in and through each and every one of us. It uplifts each and every one of us. We are one with it, and when we allow ourselves the strength to stay in frame, in balance, and on our feet, that great vision of life will dance us through whatever is. And so I'm so grateful for today and for this vision that I've held and that I've had, and I hope and pray that it has ignited in you a vision of that potential, the being held by spirit, the moving in unison and one with all that is, with seeing God in the eyes of every dance partner who shows up in your life, of being able to keep your feet moving to the rhythm and to the beat, and feeling the joy that dancing is throughout life. And so I am grateful for this time together, these realizations, revelations, and for the feeling of being one with spirit dancing across the dance floor. So I know that this is true. I know that these words move into the law, and together they create a new manifestation in all of our lives as we release these words. And so it is. Thank you, practitioners.
I'll begin again. I will build my life. I will live to know that I've fulfilled my life. I'll begin today. Throw away the past, and the future I build will be something that will last. I'll begin again. I will change my fate. I will show the world that it is not too late. I will never stop while I still have time, and I stand at the top of the mountain I must climb. I will take the time I have left to give, and I'll give it all that I have left to give. I will live my days for my fellow man, and I'll live in praise of the moment when I was able to begin. I will start anew, I will make amends, and I'll make quite certain that the story ends on a note of hope on a strong amen. And I'll thank the world and remember when I was able to begin again, again, again.
She does it every time, doesn't she? Both of them. Thank you so much. That's perfect, just perfect. So as we hold that vision, we get to begin again each day. So see yourselves doing that wonderful dance. And so now is the time when we normally do our giving, and so I'm just allowing you to give in your mind's eye, visualize giving all these amazing things to support not only our community, but those that we tithe to. We tithe 10% of all that comes through the center to someone that we choose each month. And this month it is the Amador Health Center, and that is the new name for the former St. Luke's Healthcare Clinic at the Community of Hope campus here in Las Cruces. Their mission remains the same, to provide access to vital integrated health and wellness services to all in the Las Cruces community, and to promote dignity regardless of the ability to pay. The vision is to provide care and bridge gaps between social services and people in need, to restore hope and break the cycle of poverty. I think that's a lovely vision, and so 10% of what comes through the center is supporting that vision this month. And so please repeat after me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, in me. And so it is. And so if you choose to give, there's plates by the doors as you exit later. Thank you so much, and we will sing, I Am So Blessed.
We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed. We are so blessed. We are so grateful. We are so blessed.
We are so blessed. I just feel it. It is so wonderful to be in the presence of real people, as someone said as they came through the door, our visitors. Thank you for being here. It is a blessing. So take what you received here today and go dance through your week. Have a blessed week. We will stand and hold our hands out to hold that energy as we sing our closing song.
I leave here in peace. I step out in love. I know everything I need is part of me, and I will not speak until I first think, is it kind and true?